What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We back up in here. HellaFlagrant, the podcast. It's your main man, Flagrant DM. I'm in here with my brother, Shawn B. Flagrant. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh man, I'm always good, man. How you doing today?
Oh, you know me, man. It's always a lovely day when we get to be on the HellaFlagrant podcast, talking about these flagrant sports stories, man, giving it to the fans. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, for real, man. Season 2 is here, man. We visual. You see me? Look, this is me right here. This is D right here, man. We back in this thing, man. Just happy to be back talking about sports, man. Sports is life. I can dig it, man. All day, all day.
So we don't waste time. We get right to it on HellaFlagrant, the podcast. You know what I mean? So flagrant sports stories, flagrant sports news going on right now. One of the biggest stories, obviously, is Urban Meyer's suspension. We have talked about this between ourselves, and we have definitely written a few stories on theflagrantfoul.com. Make sure you go on theflagrantfoul.com and read up on all the latest flagrant foul stories. But we have written a story about first when he was placed on a leave of absence, and then now about his 3-game suspension and how, I wrote the story, so it's from my perspective, but I think we kind of share the same opinion that this 3-game suspension is as weak as it gets. It's garbage. You know what I mean? It's completely. I mean, come on, man. You washed your hands of a situation that you should have been more diligent about, and you got off.
Right, exactly. And so for y'all that don't know right now, Urban Meyer is the head coach of Ohio State. His wide receivers coach, Zach Smith, actually, all this is going down because of him. So basically, it's a domestic violence case between Zach Smith and his wife. In 2009, Zach Smith was arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant victim. That pregnant victim was Courtney Smith, his wife. Nothing was said at the time. I think he was working at that time at Florida State. But according to the interview that I watched, basically Courtney went and told her parents and his parents about the whole situation. They came back to her and said, well, we don't want you to talk about anything because we don't want your husband to lose his job. That's not the way to go. But I mean, I understand sometimes that's what situations are. It's not right. It's bullshit. We might as well say it, man. Flagrant foul, whatever. Yeah. But, but that's what it was. So fast forward to 2015, actually, when he was arrested again for the same thing, domestic violence and on felony assault. Now, at this point, he went to Shelly Meyer, who is Urban Meyer's wife, and told her and Shelly Meyer, let me add this too, Shelly Meyer actually works in Ohio State as well. Right. She is, she's on the board with them. So at that time, she came to her and told her about what was happening with her husband. Now, she told her, I have to tell Urban.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's his boss. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It never was, it never was brought that it actually was told, but you got to think about it. This is his wife. Now, this has been going on for this many years. They're going to say something. It's 2018, folks.
Not even that. I mean, that's one part to take into it. If Chrissy Smith told Shelly Meyer anything, yeah, it's fair to believe that as a wife, she passed some of this information on to her husband. Even if she didn't give him all the details, she at least alluded to something was going on. I gotta be smart enough to believe that part of it. But aside from that part of it, you take into account this has been going on since they were at Florida. Right. Came to Ohio State with the same bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that you have been working with this man for this many years and never, like, that's like being around somebody that's an alcoholic for 15 years and you like, oh, I've never seen him drink. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Come on, bro. You had to have seen it. Whether you wanted to play blind ignorance and act like, all right, well, I'm gonna just let it get swept under the rug. It didn't come directly to me, or I wasn't directly involved. So I'm gonna just, stay out as far as I can. So that way, if somebody ever asked me, I could just, deny that I was ever involved. But come on, man, let's be honest.
And that's the situation that is at hand. That's why Urban Meyer is getting blamed for all this, because you acting like boo-boo the fool, like you didn't know nothing. But you clearly, I mean, everybody, like you said, everybody's got to know this. I mean, these are police documents. This man's getting arrested. you have to know this is happening under your watch. And even if you don't want to address it, it's still going to come to light. And the fact of the matter is, Ohio State is just as much in the wrong as him for just erasing this under the rug. If any employer finds out about you doing some criminal shit, they're going to fire you or suspend you on site. Why is this any different? Like everybody, I feel like everybody in Ohio didn't know about this. LeBron didn't know. The Browns didn't know. Everybody in Ohio did not know about this somehow, but yet still, it just now came out in 2018. But in 2009 and 2015, this came up. It makes no sense. I'm just saying LeBron and Browns like it was whatever. But seriously though, everybody should have known this. It shouldn't have been an outside source to do a report for you to find out. Oh, I didn't know. Nah, man, you knew. You worked with him right on your side. That was your right hand man. Right. So I don't want all that.
And then to make matters worse, your half apology, your press conference was a real slap in the face. I mean, you didn't take time to apologize to the victim. You didn't take time to apologize to the victims of domestic violence. You didn't take time to say, hey, you know what? I may have been a part of covering up something. And you know what? I didn't know how to. You didn't take any sort of level of responsibility, even in the smallest sense. The only thing you said is, I'm sorry that we're in this situation.
We are in this. The only person that's in this situation was his wife, Zach Smith's wife. That's who was in the situation. From 2009, she has been in a situation that you turned a blind eye to. Everybody did. And it makes no sense. You couldn't even apologize to her directly. They had to have a media member bring up her exact name. You couldn't even say her name or her name in your speech. Doesn't make any sense. Back to Ohio State, though. 3-game suspension?
Right.
3 games? Let's go down these lanes. Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Like, on the real, like, if you need me to quarterback against Oregon State, I'll get that W, no doubt. Yeah. That's an easy money win.
I'm calling the plays. I'm holding the signs. I got it.
Exactly. I mean, Rutgers, do we even know? I mean, half of y'all don't even know where Rutgers is at, man. And then TCU. TCU is a quality football team, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of his suspension of the 3 games is he's still allowed to coach in practice.
Right.
So it's not like
all the way up to game day.
Exactly.
It's not like he gets one. He can coach all the way up till Friday night.
Exactly. So, I mean, and you know, if you're at Ohio State, he's got assistants that can work, that can do that job. Right. So there's no reason that, you know, if an assistant coach is coaching those 3 games, that it's going to be a big deal. Now, what comes into play is the reason why I think Ohio State and the NCAA is wrong for this is they should have either fired him or suspended him for a whole season with no pay, obviously, but the fact that they didn't is whatever, but this is why I think they gave him 3 games. 2 more games after that when he comes back. We'll give him 1 warm-up game, week 4. But on that week 5, they play Penn State, one of their biggest rivals. Yep. They need him back for that because they don't want to lose against Penn State because had they do that, obviously, if Penn State has a better record, they won't get in the football championship in the playoffs.
Absolutely. It's strategic. I mean, it's definitely strategic. It's a money thing. And think about the hype. I mean, not just, you know, we want to win this game, but Urban Meyer, game 4, whatever. But now he's back off suspension. Think about the ratings that's going to be for them. They thought about this. They planned this out. They had these same conversations when they were sitting down trying to decide, well, all right, do we give them 2? Do we give them 3? Oh, look, 3 kind of works out because if we give them 3, then it'll be kind of a week in there, and then we'll have a week to promote this Penn State game and hype this up. They knew what they were doing, man. This is trash. It's trash.
It's ridiculous. And I know we sit here, we talk about the flagrant shit and everything like that, flagrant foul all day long. Like, I mean, that's our brand. But domestic violence is wrong in any sort of the matter.
Right.
And, you know, if Urban Meyer can't apologize to Zach Smith's wife, man, I'm sitting here saying sorry that you had to go through this from 2009 and beyond. I don't even know when it started, but whenever it started to now, there's been no justice for you. I don't even know what's happened from this because the thing about it is we don't even know what she's gotten or if anything.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. All the news has been on Urban Meyer, Ohio State, the fallout for them, Zach Smith. no news has come out about the justice for Chrissy Smith and what's going to happen for her moving forward. And that's a good point.
Yeah, and that's wrong, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Urban didn't lose his job. He's still going to get paid. His wife who works, Urban Meyer's wife who works down in Ohio State still has her job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, they did let go of Zach Smith, but he should have been let go. He should have been let go in 2009. So that's not a big deal. But the problem is his wife has 2 children that probably, maybe, I don't know, I'm not just saying, but might have seen her husband beat on her. But now their story, at least they know now. They know about the situation. It's all through the news that this happened to his wife, but what's happening for her?
Right.
There's no justice for her. So, I mean, Urban Meyer, I mean, that's cool. Ohio State, they can do whatever they want to do, you know what I'm saying? But big money, fame, wins, basically, and when it comes to sports, will get you whatever you want, basically. That's what the NCAA is basically saying.
Absolutely. I mean, nothing's changed. It's all the same. And it's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. So we'll see if the NCAA steps in and decides to put in a stiffer penalty and, go ahead and enforce the firing and the release of Urban Meyer. We'll see how this goes. But I think if they let this linger for too long, they're not going to do it, which is kind of messed up.
And you know what I just thought about too? What they probably going to do, Ohio State, is they probably going to allow this to build up. It might be some backlash from the fans. Of course, you're going to get everything from Urban Meyer, but what they're going to do is they're going to let him win and get to the playoffs. And if he can get a championship, that'd be great. If not, then they have an excuse. Oh, we can't do this no more.
Right.
We're going to let you go. We just can't do it. But they couldn't do it now, because if they did it now, then they would have had to get a new coach. All their transfers probably would have left, and that'd have been it. Like they didn't want to leave. They didn't want all their players to leave in Ohio State. They couldn't salvage this whole year. They just didn't want to let it go. Yeah. It's clear, obvious why they gave
it too close to the season. It's too close to the season. It's too close. So, well, again, as we say here, it's HellaFlagrant. We'll definitely stay tuned and keep y'all updated as more things unfold, if they do unfold, for this story. So. Moving on. This is definitely another tragic situation in a different light. This past weekend, Jacksonville, Florida, EA Sports was hosting a Madden tournament, which many of us have now come to know turned into a tragedy, a very tragic situation. 3 people were killed, 11 people were shot. At this Madden tournament, a young man by the name of David Katz took it upon himself to bring a automatic firearm into the tournament after a loss, and decided to let the automatic weapon off, and ended up killing and injuring several people. I do not in any way want to make sure that we absolve David Katz at all. I don't want to sympathize or anything. He did a horrible thing. He injured innocent people who were not even close to prepared for this kind of violence. You're at a Madden tournament, bro. Like, this is supposed to be the pinnacle of entertainment and fun. And this is the last thing that you would expect at a video game tournament. And this is absolutely crazy to think about.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, man. I when I first heard about this story, I couldn't believe it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know what to say. Everybody who has video games, everybody who loves sports has Madden. I mean, Madden is like the #1 video game, for sports fans. I mean, I play Madden day in and day out, but to think about that, I mean, David Katz was 24 years old. Mm-hmm. David Katz 2 years ago actually won a Madden tournament. So if you think about it, as a 24-year-old, he's probably got a sense that he might feel that he's one of the best players ever, and then maybe that his reign is just too strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. He went down, he's from Baltimore. He came down to Florida, I guess, obviously to compete. And I don't know how much money was involved in this or whatever. It doesn't really matter because it shouldn't have happened. But this esports thing is getting really big. A lot of people are jumping on this, online gaming and stuff like that, it's becoming huge. Now I understand that, it's a competition. Every competition brings out flair, anger. You know what I'm saying? When I play Madden, man, I get into it with my friends all day. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't matter. I've never ever got any fights or any type of altercations with anybody I've ever played a game with, because it's not worth it. Once again, I'm saying this to everybody watching this: it's just a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you feel, whatever emotions you get from this, and when you lose, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't know how this 24-year-old kid thinks. I don't know what he thought. But obviously, he was prepared. He came from Baltimore, and he had a gun somewhere on him or in the car. He was prepared to do something. Right. He thought this was his time to do something. And it's very unfortunate. If you go to the page on, flagrantfoul.com, I wrote a story on it, but there's a video on there where you can hear the bullets. You can hear this man while kids are playing this game. It's live because this is all streamed live. You can hear him shooting. Now, he injured 11 people. Yeah. First of all, killed 2 people. Then I guess he fled the scene and wound up killing himself in a Chicago pizza, not too far from where the gaming thing was. But this is completely unfortunate, wrong on all sense, because everybody that came to that Madden tournament came there just to have fun. Yeah, there might have been some money involved, but they came there just to have fun, to compete, to do something they love. And you took all that, you took lives away, you injured people just because you felt some type of way because you couldn't win the game. Now competition can go so far.
Yeah.
And, what I'm saying?
And in respect to the victims, the lives that were lost, the people that were injured, outside of that, though, what you also have done is that you made it hard for people to go to the next tournament and to the next event, because now it's like, man, I'm a father. I got a son that's going to be 13 in a week. Right. Video games is something that he and I like to do together. Imagine us, Jacksonville is a 4-hour drive for me. That may be something that he and I may actually want to do, but now we're looking at this. I got to talk to him about the news. He hears what's going on. And now no, I don't know if I want to go to the next video game tournament if this kind of stuff is going on. Like, you have not only, hurt people, have killed people, have injured, lives and broken families in this one incident, but now you have made it to where people are scared and going to be timid to want to attend the next event. And so it's a whole kind of terror situation where you've kind of physically injured and killed people, but you're killing people's spirits now too. You're killing the ability for people to want to go to these events, and it's terrible, man. It's absolutely it's tragic. I mean, there's no other way to describe it but tragic for the victims, for the people who lost their lives, for the people who were going and planning to go and wanted to attend this event with their families. Is just horrible. It's tragic. And I don't even know where, we comment on how to even fix the problem. Is it a gun problem? Is it a video game problem? Is it
I think it's a society problem. I mean, I just think I want to say it's an upbringing problem, because I don't know David Cass. I don't know his family. I don't know his upbringing. So I'm not going to go there. But I feel like just because a lot of times now people in general, they see that this world, and they see TV and they see that, they act like things are invisible, or not invisible. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that, but they act like TV is real life. Like they can go shoot a gun and they can go do this and they have no consequences, and they're not taking somebody else's life. They're just reacting on their own impulses instead of knowing how this other family will feel. Like, imagine, like you just said, you being a father, just as a parent, how could you feel if you sent your son to a video game conference? And it's just like, you can't justify that, because you would be like, well, how would you feel?
Right.
I don't know how I could be like, well, I did something wrong as a parent. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. You sent to a video game conference. Like, how could you ever suspect that could possibly go down? It's unfair. I know he took his life, but his life was still worth just like everybody else's. Like, you have to find different ways. And I know I'm it's preaching, but it's just something that's just super unfortunate, because it just shows that you never know what can happen in life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're talking about it right now because it is a football video game. It is something that, a lot of sports people, athletes, people that watch sports, they play this game. So it's got to hit home for everybody, because this was supposed to be for fun. This was entertainment. It might have been, like I said, it might have been money involved, but this was entertainment. It's just so unfortunate to have to even talk about something like this on here.
Yeah. Being in Florida, and I'll leave it on this note. Being on Florida, this is an open carry state. I don't think the state of Maryland is an open carry state. But being in places like this where they openly sell these kind of weapons that can kill people at rapid speed, it always just makes you want to stop and think, like, how necessary is the sale of these weapons? But again, Flagrant Foul, we're a sports show. We're not politics. But we do have a right to kind of voice that. And I will just say that I don't think that anybody needs to even be selling these types of weapons, and this type of ammunition and these types of guns don't even need to be sold. But that's, for a whole other conversation.
Yeah, and the cold part about it is we still worried about people kneeling.
Right.
You feel me? Like that, on top of that, like in talking about football, we still worry about people kneeling. 24-year-old go kill somebody kill people at a video game thing, but we worried about somebody taking a knee.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Not into politics, but just saying.
Just saying. I got to feel you on that one. Moving along in the show. So since we were kind of off for the summer, we took some time to kind of do some other fun stuff for a little bit. Went to New York. Shout out to the fun people at #SportsConference. Shout out to all the fun we had in New York, period. But while all that was going on, the NBA was making a whole lot of moves. Off-season moves, trades, some even altercations happened. Let's get into some of this NBA offseason stuff that went down.
Well, I mean, we all know the big thing that happened was LeBron James joined the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, self-explanatory. Headline news. What was that? 4 years, $154 million. They got a few other people with him, some boneheads. Lance Stevenson, the man that blew in his ear, actually. The man that blew in his ear actually is joining forces with him. Rajon Rondo, who is known to be a little disgruntled on the court and off the court.
Playoff Rondo.
Right. Your boy JaVale from the Golden State Warriors.
Hey, no, I gotta give a little bit of respect to JaVale, though. He elevated his game from where he was.
In the Bay, we call him Pierre 2 times because his rap name is Pierre, so we call him Pierre 2 times. 2 times for the 2 championships.
Gotta give him that.
Shout out to Pierre 2 times, but they got him. They got Michael Beasley, who we all know loves the weed. California is legal in California, so we all good. Yeah. Who else joined that team? I think that was it, right? Yeah, well,
that was it for the new players, and then obviously you got Lonzo,
Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting bunch to say the least. But they're together, so we'll see how that goes. Kawhi Leonard finally found a team. Well, I wouldn't say found him. The Toronto Raptors just went and got him.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of messed up though. When the whole thing went down, why they got DeMar DeRozan looking like he's just supposed to be sad about going to San Antonio? Like it's the worst place to go play.
Right. He was hurt.
He was hurt, though.
I mean, look. I haven't been to Toronto. I know Toronto, especially in terms of basketball, they love their people. You know what I'm saying? But you're still making millions of dollars, brother.
You are.
You in Texas. Texas is a no income state tax. You know what I'm saying? Town. So you go get a little bit more money in your pocket from that. So don't worry. It's okay. Kyle Lowry wasn't that cool of a person. I mean, I don't know. Shout out to Kyle Lowry. Seemed like a good dude, but I mean, we saw what happened with him and LeBron last year. They get it done.
And we talked about that on the podcast last season, though, what some of these teams kind of needed to break up, the monotony. Y'all have been doing the same thing a couple seasons in a row. LeBron came through, smashed y'all, took y'all hearts out y'all chest, and y'all had to make a change, period. Right. I mean, obviously, y'all got rid of your coach, who also won Coach of the Year.
Of the Year, yeah, that was.
But But Toronto had to shake it up on the court, and it was necessary for them to make some other moves, and so they made a move, and it happened, and he'll be all right. He's fine. He's gonna make millions, and he'll be fine.
And Kawhi Leonard, I think will give a fair chance to stay there. I don't know. I mean, I know he said he wanted to go to LA, but I think he'll give it a fair chance. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, now the East is kind of open, though. Why not stay there?
Exactly. Make some moves. Build. I mean, that city already is embracing you. You might as well try it. You know what I'm saying?
Might as well.
So,
kick it with
Drake. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure he'll keep him happy. But other news. I mean, Warriors got rich again.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing, man. We Bay Area folks, so it's all love over here. Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins now is a Warrior for at least for this year. Most likely he won't play until about around to December, January. But I mean, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like
right when we need him.
We've been mowing over the whole NBA for the last 4 years, so nobody's worried.
Yeah,
but
fine.
Those were kind of the big moves I could say in free agency. But something happened a little bit around what was the ESPY Awards, I think. And that was in LA where LeBron's new home is. So LeBron decided to throw a party. LeBron's party was more geared towards athletes, I would say. I mean, of course, celebrities will be there. So a couple of his friends came. I know we all think that, the Warriors and the Cavs, or, LeBron, I should say, had beef.
Right.
It's not that as serious as people think. I'm going to just tell you right now. If you don't know that, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Draymond and LeBron are close enough. They work together on a HBO special with the Barbershop that's actually premiering this week. KD and LeBron are very close. They've always have been. They work out all the time in the summertime. So it's all love with them, you know what I'm saying? But so both of them were invited to LeBron's party, but a few of LeBron's other friends came too. Tristan Thompson, I think you guys remember him. He plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's dating Khloe Kardashian. They have a baby together. They all came together, in one place at one time. And if you do remember what happened last year in the finals, Draymond and Tristan weren't very friendly.
Well, yeah, Tristan was ejected during a game where there was some sort of altercation, if you want to call it, a bumping, a little bit of a shove, some words exchanged between him and Draymond. And, obviously the Cavs and the Warriors have seen each other, 4 seasons in a row now. So there's no mixing for words. Like, obviously, like there is something to be said. These guys got to play each other at the highest level, at the peak of their careers, under the brightest lights. Emotions and tempers are going to flare. But like you said, a lot of guys can leave that on the court and go be friends after. Apparently, Draymond, Tristan aren't able to get past whatever little beef they got going on.
Right. Now, when I went to the Warriors championship parade, shout out to the Warriors for winning number 3. But, yeah. At the parade, Draymond had a few choice words about Tristan Thompson. He actually spoke on camera, was interviewed by Mr. Fab and Kalina Osbuki, who used to play for the Warriors, and basically came out and said that Tristan wasn't cut from the same cloth. Now, it's one thing to say these words to somebody on the court, because you leave the court, it's not no big deal. But when you say them on TV, and that's broadcasted all around the world, plus on ESPN, Bleacher Report, everywhere you want to look, it's going to build somebody's anger up a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, the ESPY Awards is not that far from the season, at least from the championship, because the Warriors and the Cavs played in June. This was in July. So this is about a month that Tristan had time to sit there and think about all this. And then, boom, you in a private place, and at this party, LeBron didn't let no cameras be involved. That's why we don't have any videotape. That's why nobody really knows exactly what happened.
Right.
But speculation said that Draymond went up to Tristan. Now, I don't know if this is really true. So, like I said, speculation. Draymond went up to Tristan, tried to, extend a hand, say, shit didn't really go down the way I wanted it to. I'm going to apologize to you as a man. Tristan wasn't feeling it. He tried to do it again. And then some people say he gave him a 2-piece. Some people say this is a push. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like either way, whatever happened, and it was broken up. And LeBron, Draymond, KD, all of them were seen leaving the club because they was done with it. So, but what's crazy is what I will say is this: Cleveland. This is how salty the Cleveland fans are, man. You Cleveland fans, if you a Cleveland fan, this is y'all right here. This is what happened. Y'all are deciding to throw a parade for this brother, a parade, because off of speculation that you think that Tristan two-piece Draymond, you gonna throw a parade? You know how much parades cost? You gonna go out of your way to throw a parade for the boy?
Listen. The people of Cleveland, and again, there are some good people in Cleveland. I don't know too many personally, but I will just assume that there are a lot of good people in Cleveland. Hopefully some of them watch and listen to this podcast and follow us and read all our stories, right?
Yeah, we still like y'all. Don't worry about it. We still like y'all, but still, man. Y'all
have to understand that y'all are going to have any sort of championship or any sort of NBA notoriety for a while. And so if throwing a parade over speculation is what you have to do to celebrate your team, do it. I hope you spend the money. I hope you have a great time at your little bitty tiny parade over speculation. Because you know what? You know where we'll be? We'll be at championship parades. All right? So have your little parade.
All day long. Cleveland fans out here acting like Phoenix Suns fans, man. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say. Y'all act like a Phoenix Suns fan. Just because y'all dropped to the bottom don't mean y'all gotta act like y'all at the bottom, man. Phoenix will tell you it's not a good place to be, man. On the real, I'm gonna stop my hatred for Phoenix Suns fans right now, man. On the real, y'all got good picks. I like the combination with DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
If you can keep Devin. If you can keep Devin, I think that's a good 1-2 punch, but I won't ride y'all until y'all come. I'll give y'all credit. Maybe 30 wins this season. Maybe.
I was just gonna say if Phoenix wins 30 games, they'll throw a parade.
I'll throw a parade for you, Phoenix fans. If you win 30 games, I'll throw a parade for you.
Let's do it. I'm rooting. We're putting it down right now. I'm gonna write this down. Phoenix winning 30.
We're going 30 games. I'll go to Phoenix and I'll go in the middle of the street and throw a parade with this flagrant sign right here. Throw a parade like this. We'll celebrate all day long. You come out, join me, Phoenix fans. Mark that down. Rally the troops up. Once you hit 30, I'm coming out to the city, man.
All right. Well, HellaFlagrant, the parade. We'll see if it's coming to a city near Phoenix. Getting back into the National Flagrant League, obviously a league that we love to talk about on this podcast a lot. Big story out of there this week. Odell Beckham becomes the highest paid receiver. I know at one point he wanted to be the highest paid player. I know I said it out my own mouth that I didn't see that happening, but he did get the title of being highest paid receiver. The Giants went ahead and extended his contract 5 years, worth $95 million, and the owner feels like he's worth every penny of that $95 million. How do you feel about Odell Beckham's extension and other player contracts that are going on around the league right now?
Well, I don't think the owner feels he's worth 95. I think the owner feels he's worth $65 million because he gave him 65 guaranteed. But for a receiver, that's enormous amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like the potential to get 95, but guaranteed 65 is crazy for a receiver. I think too crazy for a receiver. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because the NFL has a hard cap. Hard cap is not like the NBA where you can just, like the Warriors, I'm gonna spend a little bit extra money. No big deal. We'll just get, double tax on the thing. It's not like that in the NFL. In the NFL, you stop at a max. Yeah, your max might be bigger if you have more money, but that's different. So this is the situation with that. If you have a $95 million player, that's quarterback money. Mm-hmm. Quarterback money means usually what's going to happen is, you're not going to be able to give your quarterback the same amount of money. So Eli Manning right now is their quarterback. He's getting older. They're going to have to get a new quarterback. they're going to have to pay that man. Eventually, you're going to have to pay him a big amount of money. Now, how are you going to pay somebody a big amount of money when you have a situation where your receiver makes $95 million? Oh, and also you just drafted one of the best running backs to come out of college football in a long time.
And no quarterback. No quarterback.
So you spent all this money on the one player, and you have these other players that might, if you do get another quarterback and you have Saquon Barkley there, they're going to ask for money. They're going to want money. Where are you going to spend the money on forever on other people? You have a defense that is not very good. If you want to bring somebody in there to help stop somebody, how are you going to do it?
Right. And, so there's a couple of factors at play here. Like you said, Eli Manning is still their quarterback. He's aging. I personally, right now, I could probably look it up, but I don't even know who the backup quarterback is for the Giants at the moment. But I don't even know who you're grooming to put through there. And so you didn't pick up a quarterback in this year's draft, which you probably should have.
Yes,
not to say Saquon Barkley, great pickup. Maybe not for your team though. Because here's why. Eli Manning gets older. Eli Manning is going to slow down. Eli Manning gets hurt. Now, let's just say you've got Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley. One of two things could happen. You guys win a bunch of games, which means you're at a lower pick, which means by the time you do get to draft a player, you're down. You're forced to pick up a quarterback who is lower in the draft than you would, right?
Right.
So now you've got a guy that you're forced to have to groom, and you have to groom him on a low salary and hope that Eli Manning stays healthy long enough for this guy to get better. So that way your receiver and his longevity and the money that you're paying him actually works out. Because if the flip happens, let's say the Giants have a terrible season. Eli Manning is horrible. Saquon Barkley, maybe he has some good yards, but in terms of quarterbacking, they don't put any points up on the board. Let's say you tank, and now you're higher up in the draft, right? And you draft a quarterback high up in the draft. Are you going to keep that person? You don't have the money to pay him.
None.
You don't have the money to pay, or you don't have the money to re-sign Saquon Barkley when it's time to re-sign him.
Right. And if he runs hard this year or for the next 4 years, what's he going to ask for? You know what I'm saying? He's going to want something. I mean, Eli Manning is old. Eli Manning is still serviceable right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, they have a good left tackle and a good left guard. They have nothing on the right side. So what I would do if I was a defense, I would just move my pass rushers to the other side and just attack Eli Manning. Eli Manning gets hit by one defensive end, he's done.
Right.
He's done. His whole body will explode. I'm telling you right now. The man will not make it in the NFL today if he gets hit multiple times. But, I mean, I understand the value in keeping your players happy. I understand everything with that. But I'm telling you right now, spending big money on a player that's not a quarterback will hamper you later down the line if you don't manage yourself right. Which leads me to this. And this is a personal issue that I deal with.
I was hoping you was going there. I was hoping we were going to get in this.
Because this is my situation right now with the Raiders. Khalil Mack has not been signed yet. I'm sure everybody in Oakland and the Bay Area and any Raider fan all the way around the world knows this. This is very upsetting because Khalil Mack is our best player. Now, problems is this. We gave Derek 125 a year back ago. Now, Derek had a terrible season last year, but I think that was due to the offensive line. He was still a little bit hurt. Quarterbacks get big money. We all know that. We just gave John Gruden $100 million. For what reason, I have no idea. But we still gave him $100 million for 10 years. That's a ridiculous amount of money for any coach, especially a 10-year contract. It makes no sense. Now, the problem with the Raiders is the Raiders are not like every other franchise in terms of having money, other outside money coming in. So what that means is Mark Davis's team, which is the Raiders, that's his only source of income. So when you put some money into somebody, like let's say they wanted to sign Khalil Mack, they have to have a certain amount of money right then on the spot. They can't just say, oh, we'll give you the money, and then it just be like a promise that it'll come. No, it has to be in a certain thing that this man can get to his money at any time. Like you have to actually have this money available for that. Now, Khalil Mack has been holding out, and I've gotten word that it might be longer than just the preseason. Preseason's almost done.
Right.
I mean, by the time that this video is out and we all do Labor Day weekend, everything like that, man, please be done. It's time for football. Week 1, man. You know what I'm saying? If Khalil Mack doesn't play, they playing the LA Rams. Now, the LA Rams have the same problem with Aaron Donald, but in all indications, Aaron Donald's going to get signed. Aaron Donald's going to be the richest player outside of quarterback, that there is. Now, Aaron Donald also is a dynamic player like Khalil Mack, but LA has the money. Sam Kroenke has the money to pay. He just paid Brandon Cooks $81 million.
Right.
Who hasn't played a snap for them yet. Okay? He just paid Todd Gurley, who well deserves it, $57 million. You know what I'm saying? And Dominican Sue, who they brought over, is 1 year, but he's $14 million. Now, they're going to get Aaron Donald that money. Yeah. I can't say the same thing for Oakland.
Well, and see, so here's the issue that I was really like, I didn't even realize this. I think I saw it either on Bill Simmons' podcast or somewhere online today. But basically, they were saying that when you look at the kind of money that Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack are getting, right, and you take into consideration the positions that they play, if for any reason one of them gets hurt, that's roughly 20% of your salary cap sitting on the bench that you can't use. And for a 40-plus man roster, right, 20% of my salary sitting on the bench somewhere, as a GM, as an owner, I do got to look at this. And not saying that these guys aren't worth that money. Not saying that these guys are not going to help their team succeed and help the teams excel. But at the same time, as an owner and as a GM, I have to be realistic about the game that we play. We play a game that is high impact, high speed. There is a chance at every person that I have on my roster could get hurt at some point. You mean to tell me that I'm going to invest 20% of my salary, 1/5 of my salary cap into one guy and hope that you play the entire season at your peak performance?
Right, and that's the problem that the NFL has, because that's at every position, because you have to give somebody that. Now, we just got Odell that. Odell didn't play, what 2-3 games last year? Right. So had he had that contract, that would be the same situation for him. Now, the quarterback makes sense, but the thing about it is you pay the quarterback, you also have to pay somebody to block for that quarterback. Because the thing about it is if you pay that quarterback, but you haven't paid that offensive line, what happens when the first game comes through and you have a guy like Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, who gets around that offensive lineman and knocks the hell out of your quarterback? That's another $20 million that's now on the bench, or 20% that's now on the bench. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So either way, like, you have to manage your money. That's what the NFL is all about. Like, unfortunately, this game is rough. Unfortunately, it's going to be injuries. No matter what you go through, no matter what you have, it's going to happen. Your team will have somebody that will be impacted that is significant importance to you. It's just, who is it going to be? Right. That's the problem. And if you don't have guaranteed contracts, and that's why they don't want to guarantee contracts, because they don't want to sit there and be like, well, fuck, I got to play Khalil Mack all this goddamn money. But like you said, he on the bench. Well, somebody's going to get that money. And that's the thing. Is it your quarterback? Is it your lineman? Is it your pass rusher? Somebody's going to get it. New York opted to pay the receiver. Now, what does it matter if you have a man that's running down the field and he's making $95 million and nobody can throw the ball?
Nobody can throw the ball.
You see what I'm saying?
For several reasons, though, too. And as you pointed out with New York, the getting the ball to your receiver, there's several legs to that. Number one is, again, like you said, the offensive line is shaky. 2, you have an aging quarterback. So either one of those pieces could affect the reason why he's not getting the football. Whether your offense, you can have a great quarterback and a weak line, and your quarterback can't get the throw off, or vice versa. Good line, old quarterback, still can't hit your man. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of factors into that guy receiving that ball and scoring those points, as opposed to, again, when you talk about a pass rusher, when you talk about a quarterback, it's a little bit more personal because their success is kind of individual. You know what I mean? Right. When you look at paying a receiver this amount of money, you are relying on a lot of other factors to work properly to make sure that this guy catches this football.
Right, and you could even throw in a running back, because if you don't have a good running game, nobody's going to play on the defensive line. All they'll do is fade back in the zone and blanket the backfield. Why would I if you can't run? Why do I need to, you know what I'm saying, worry about your run? I could just put 2 people, 3 people up in the thing to pass rush, and I could have everybody hanging back and just play a zone and have that backfield covered up.
Look what they do to Julio. Look what they do to Julio Jones in Atlanta. Look what they do. Not saying Atlanta doesn't have any running. They can kind of run. But look what they do to Julio. They double team Julio in the biggest games. Julio is one of the rawest receivers to ever play this football game. And he can't get the ball half the time, not because he's not good, but because the defense knows what, we're just going to double up on Julio. Let y'all try to get the ball on the other side of the field, and you're not. Let y'all try to run the ball. We'll stop that. And we have Julio shut down.
Exactly. So you just basically paid $95 million to a sprinter. Like, if you really want to, I mean, that's all it is. Like, this man, he runs great routes. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But that's what the NFL is about, man. You just got to pick and choose your poison, like, and hope that everything works out, because, like I said, eventually somebody's gonna get hurt, no matter who it is. I know it sounds bad, but you just better hope it's that guy that's only making $2 million instead of the guy that's making 25.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's real talk. You know, that's the realest talk in the world. So keeping it football. Keeping it football. The flagrant foul had our fantasy draft. Let's do it. You know, as this time of year comes around, this is my favorite part of football. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I like to watch the games and I like to see, you know, all the controversy and stuff that comes up, but it's also fun to be a part of the game or feel like you're a part of the game. And so fantasy football allows for us to be able to do that. So I'm looking on my phone right now because I don't even know all of my picks by heart, but I'm gonna go through here and we're gonna talk about some of these notable picks. Who did you take in the first round?
Well, luckily I think I got 2 running backs that I did with first and second. The first pick I got was Alvin Kamara out of the New Orleans Saints. He had a great year last year. He was offensive rookie of the year last year. I forgot. I don't think he led the league in yards. The person that led the league in yards actually was my second pick, who was Kareem Hunt out of Kansas City. So I got both of them for my first and second picks. I went to receiver. I drafted Adam Thielen out of Minnesota. I got Doug Baldwin was my 5th pick, but I got Doug Baldwin out of Seattle. I got that's what it is. T.Y. Hilton. I'm sorry. T.Y. Hilton out of the Colts.
Yeah, you took that from me. I had that on my list too.
Hey, man, you know, I had to grab him. I mean, Andrew Luck is back. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping he can throw that ball. I mean, they hooked up. They were like the number 1 and 2, you know, combination, you know, back in the day. Who'd
you take for quarterback? Who'd you take for quarterback? I don't even see you here.
The gunslinger, baby. Big Philly Field, man. Philly Rams, man. I ride with him every single year, man. Philly, do not sleep with my boy Phillip Rivers, man. Phillip Rivers, he's an old dude. I know they got 20,000 kids, but it don't even matter, man. The boy can go football. He was
on my list. I'll give you that. He was on my list. I didn't get him. I ended up with Matt Stafford. And I actually, before I picked Matt Stafford, I picked Jimmy G. Yeah, I'm a 49er fan. Yeah, that was not a fan pick. I just had to look at our league, and one guy in our league had already picked 3 quarterbacks, so I had to snatch one before I didn't have one left.
Another flagrant story, but let me talk about Jimmy G, man. Jimmy G was out running around with porn stars, you know, going on dates and stuff like that, caught by TMZ. So let's just remember that when your boy throwing interceptions, that maybe the night before he was a little bit too reckless on that Saturday.
Maybe it's motivation. You know what I'm saying? He might be on a different, you know, operation frequency. It might move him to do the right thing. I don't know. He might be drained
too. He might be drained from the night before. So
he might be. He might be. But I picked, so my first round pick was Le'Veon Bell out of Pittsburgh as a running back. Then I got Zach Ertz. You know what I mean? He picks up a lot of little good points for you as a tight end. Then I went to Tyreek Hill and Golden Tate on the receiver side. And then obviously down from there. One little sneak pick I think I got that people was kind of sleeping on. No, my man Carlos Hyde. I think he's going to show out for me. I think he's going to be a good pick.
Yeah, that was the one that I wanted. That's what I'm saying. I was going to
comes
my third
full
and fourth
circle. It comes full circle, brother.
Yeah, Carlos. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns, man. Like, I mean, you're talking about Cleveland, but Cleveland Browns might look a little bit better this year. I mean, they got Tyrod Taylor. I don't think Tyrod going to play very much longer because Baker Mayfield probably going to take that job. But they got some good receivers down there. Jarvis Landry, my man Josh Gordon, stay off the weed. But I mean, they looking pretty raw down there. So I mean, Carlos Hyde was a definitely good pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, until Nick Chubb beats him out for the job, then you have to get somebody else. But
right,
you know, it's a good look, man. I mean, last year, you know, we did pretty good in fantasy. Well, no, we didn't. We did all right. My man Rick won the thing, man. Follow at Rick Anthony 510. He won that thing, man. But
yeah, shout out to Rick.
Yeah, Rick did his thing last year. But I mean, I'm coming for you. You know, get that money, get that paper. So, but fantasy's always fun, man. Especially with gambling. Even with gambling coming in and being legal and everything like that, man. Like, fantasy has been a big deal. We're going to start a new thing now on the flagrantfoul.com. So everybody, every time we have these shows, but once a week, I'm going to start dropping my picks for the week. We're going to start off with football. And then we're going to go, you know what I'm saying, NBA. I'm going to give you a few lines here and there. But every week, look on there, see my picks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you a few picks for this upcoming football season for the week one. All right. Arizona plays Washington Redskins. So we got the Cardinals versus Redskins. They're going to be down in Arizona, down in the desert. I know Arizona last year wasn't that good. I know. And I'm actually going to be in Vegas coming up right now. I'm going to go bet on the Arizona Cardinals to go to over because they got a 5.5 win total. Bet Arizona to win this game. Right now, the spread is even money. I'm telling you right now, my hunch is on Arizona. They just got David Johnson back. And he's running well. I mean, the injury that he had last year was just his hand, so it's not anything with his legs. So we don't have to worry about that. I know they got my man Larry Fitzgerald, a little older, but man can still play. They got another wide receiver, Christian Kirk, that just got out of some things that he was, was dealing with off the court, but he's good. Their defense looks stellar. Anybody that watched that Cowboys game this past Sunday night, man, they killed the Cowboys. And I know it's not all the starters, but I'm just telling you the momentum's going to carry over. Take Arizona. It's an even money line right now. It might be up, 1 or 2 points by the time week one starts, but I'm telling you, take the money line or Arizona to straight out win the game. So that's the first one. The second one I'm going to do is an underplay. And I know when you hear this, you're going to be like, I don't know about that. But trust me on this. Monday Night Football, my team, the Oakland Raiders, are playing the LA Rams. Now, don't get too crazy. I'm not going to say that the Rams or the Raiders are going to beat them. I don't know. Might happen. I don't ever bet on my team.
What's the line?
But the line right now is LA is -3. So LA is favored by 3 points. I'm not betting on that. What I'm betting on this game is the total. The total is 49.5. Okay? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's going to sound crazy because LA offense has been high-powered. Oakland Raiders just got Chucky back, and you would think they're going to throw the football all over the field. Relax a little bit. Rams haven't played their starters this whole preseason. The Raiders have barely played their starters. Like I told you before, Donald will be back by week one. I don't know if Khalil will, but the Raiders' secondary is much improved. I think that if you've ever been to Oakland, it's an O.Co, the Coliseum, that place gets live, especially for that first game. It's a night game. Everybody going to be in that parking lot, ripped as hell, and going to pile into that Coliseum and be going crazy in there. That's gonna make Jared Goff nervous. I'm telling you, what I think is going to happen is going to run the ball a lot. There's going to be some broken up plays. It's going to be live in there. Excuse me. I'm taking the under on the 49.5. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take the under on the 49.5. It might be close. So if you don't feel that's comfortable for you, don't bet it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm taking personally the under on that game. That's my second lock for that week. Now, third game I'm going to do, and this is just off of my thoughts. Like I said, once again, Carolina versus the Dallas Cowboys. I think that the Carolina Panthers are going to be at home. They're going to have the Dallas Cowboys come in. Same thing like the Rams. They haven't played any of their starters. Zeke hasn't played. Dak played a little bit. Now, it doesn't take a lot for a running back to get it going, but Zeke can't provide the offense by himself. Dak has no receivers. I'm telling you right now, they have none, zero over there that are worth anything. They haven't figured out the offense. Their defense and the front looks good with Kenny Gregory coming back. They got DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side. That's a great pass rush. But if you have an offensive line that can stop that, nothing's going to happen because their backfield is terrible. Take the Panthers -3 in this game. I think you're going to see a different kind of Cam. I think that their defense is there. The Panthers' defense is back. Trust me. That's the game. That's one of the games I'm more confident on. Arizona and that one, I think, are my locks for this week. The under for the Raiders game is what I think is going to happen. But if you don't like it, okay, that's on you. But like I said before, those are my 3 picks. Tune in every week for my picks on theflagrantfoul.com where we have all these videos. But I'm gonna start posting every week my picks. I'll post my results for my picks. But go on there for any advice that you have. But I'm liking those 3 games, man. Come visit that website every week and see what I got for you.
Yeah, we'll be updating the website weekly with all of our predictions on lines. Shawn B. Flagrant is obviously the betting line expert. I just kind of play the numbers as I see fit. But you'll hear from both of us. And if you guys want to put your input in on why you think, an over or an under, should be taken, or if you guys have some input onto, a specific game or a line, you're free to comment on all the posts that are on the flagrantfoul.com. So make sure you visit the flagrantfoul.com weekly, even daily if you want to, but check us out at least weekly to make sure that, you're checking for the sports lines and giving us feedback on that. On that note, and in the same breath, anything that we say here on the Flagrant Foul is always up for discussion. We always want your feedback. We always want your comments. If you saw something on the show, you read a story on the site, maybe something that didn't even get covered on either one. Maybe it didn't make it to the site. It didn't make it to the show. It wasn't on our social media, and you guys feel like we should talk about it. We definitely want your input. So feel free to DM us on social media. Both of our personal Instagram accounts are right there below the video. You can see at Shawn B. Flagrant. You can see at Flagrant DM, or you can go visit us at theflagrantfoul.com or at the Flagrant Foul on all social media, and send us a message. Feel free to, let us know your thoughts and opinions on some of these topics and some of these subjects. We'll be happy to feature, any questions right here on the show, and get back to any questions that you guys might have. And so we look forward to your input on this show. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys anyway. Exactly, man. We're always open to hear anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have any good topics you want to talk about, like you said, man, just shout out, let us know what it is. We'd be happy to, put your name on here and tell you and directly speak on what you said, man. Like, you guys are a part of what we're doing. We're here for y'all. So any input that you guys have is much appreciated. Always. Yeah, absolutely. And then last but not least, be on the lookout for promotion for our Flagrant fan promo. So every month, we're gonna seek out a Flagrant fan that may have, done something real flagrant, may have bought a Flagrant Foul shirt and posted it, had a real unique take on a Flagrant story. And we're going to invite you to be on this podcast. We'll give you 5 minutes. You'll be right here in full video with us, and you can be on this podcast and you can share your thoughts and converse with us on, a given topic. So look out for promo for that. Really excited about having fans on, being a part of the show, and seeing how we can incorporate you guys into this and make this, really, again, for you guys, because this is what this is for. Exactly, man. I mean, it's going to be there. We try to do everything new this year and try to just, be about everybody and make sure that everybody's involved in this. Yeah, we're talking, but we want everybody involved in this. And so we look forward to it. But also, again, too, you see these shirts. Look at it right here. Read it.
HellaFlagrant. HellaFlagrant. Show support, man. Go to HellaFlagrant.com. Buy some of them. We got new shit coming out. It's just going to be clean. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Just come out, support. We got all colors, men and women's sizes. Doesn't matter. It's all for you just to support. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. We doing all this for y'all. Like everything, the shirts, the promotions, the podcast, writing stories. It's not just like we doing this for free. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to let y'all all see this stuff so that you have a good time and you enjoy it. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, just something to pass the time. We doing this for y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So on that note, episode 1, season 2, it's in the bag. HellaFlagrant, the podcast. This was fun. I look forward to this whole season just being more flagrant, more foul, and we at y'all every day. You know what I'm saying? With more news stories, more flagrant fan photos and everything else. So just stay tuned.
Shout out everybody that came and visited and watched this show. Tell everybody that you saw it.
Yeah.
Come visit us, baby. Good.
Yup.